Hello, Bella Beauties and Bella Bows. Welcome back to my channel, Bella Black TV. I'm Bella Black, and we have another great dater today. We have Aaron. Let's welcome to the stage, Aaron.
How you doing?
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Doing great. So,
Okay. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. It's like it's skipping every other word. We're gonna try to work with it though. All right. Let me put you on this other thing. Okay. So that should be better. All right. Let's jump right into it. All right. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into it. If you'll introduce yourself by stating your location and your age.
Okay, my Florida, and
It's breaking up every other word. You said what part of Florida?
hold on, let's see.
Okay.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay. My location is Miami, Florida, and I'm 40 years old.
Okay. All right. Good deal. So what is your occupation and for how long?
Well, I currently work in investigations, so I do like a lot of background and private stuff. And I have my own
Hmm.
bodyguard and private protection service, so that's my own side business as well.
How long you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about the investigations for about a little over 2 years now, and I recently started my side business service in January.
January. Okay, good deal. All right. So do you have any hobbies? What are your hobbies?
Um, I work out on the regular, probably 5 days a week. I love to travel. Uh, Huge movie buff, scary movies especially. I'm into boating. I'm into boating. I'm actually working on my captain's license now. Um,
Okay.
family stuff, ATVs. I ride motorcycles. I'm into jet skis. Pretty much anything outdoors, hiking, biking, trails, running, anything active, anything funny, anything exciting, any of that nature. And I'm open to new stuff too, like
All right, good deal. You're adventurous.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me cut up my volume a little. It sounds a little low. Hold on, let me cut up my volume a little. All right. So, have you ever been married? If so, what is your current marital status? Whether that is single, never married, separated, and estranged, divorced, or widowed. What is your current marital status?
Single, never married.
Okay. All righty. And do you have children? And if so, how many? And what are their ages? And do you desire more?
I have one son. He's 16. Um, I would be open to another child if the woman doesn't have children. If the woman has children, then no, I'm not interested in more.
Okay, speaking of that, which is actually the next question, if she does have children, does it matter how many she have and their ages?
Um, the age the age doesn't really bother me. I would say no more than one.
Okay. All right. So, what is one negative trait about yourself that you have worked from that you took from your last relationship that you have previously worked on, or currently working on, or will work
Um, oh, that I've worked on. That's
on?
pretty easy. I would say I have worked on being a lot more patient when it comes to conversation and now looking to listen first before I respond, like fully let the person get their thought out. Instead of listening to respond, I actually listen to understand, comprehend, and then give the effective feedback.
Yeah, that's very important. All right. So, how do you deal or handle conflict? And specifically, like when you're in a relationship.
Communication. I believe that when you enter someone, you care about them, and you actually want things to grow and progress in the right direction. You have to be open to communication and transparency. So sometimes we're going to have hard conversations, and somebody may be irritated. Somebody may not hear what they want to hear, or they might not get the outcome that they want. But we have to come to some kind of peaceful resolution. So communication, compromise.
Okay. All right. So you are willing to hear the other person's side, and then y'all come to a resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. It's not what's best for me or what's best for her individually. That's for us collectively.
Right, right. It's not a dictatorship. All right. So, is religion or spirituality important to you? And if so, what do you believe in or practice? And is it important to you that your mate practice or believe in those same beliefs?
I would consider myself spiritual. I consider myself a Christian, but I'm not like one of these head over heels Christians. You know, I believe in Christ and faith and stuff like that. I would like for my partner to have something similar, but I'm not like ultimately super religious, and I don't necessarily expect or want them to be ultimately or super religious as well.
Okay. Do you believe in therapy? Why or why not?
What was the last question? I'm sorry.
Do you believe in therapy? If so, why
Oh,
or why not?
oh yes, most definitely. I think that therapy is good for everybody, individually and as a couple in time. Like once you get to that point, but I believe therapy is good because there are a lot of resolved issues. People come in with a lot of things from previous relationships, childhood, all types of dynamics that they subconsciously just carry into a new relationship or new situation, and it can hinder us from getting to where we want to go. So the person got to be open and willing and optimistic to hear some things about themselves that they don't like. I have to be open and willing to hear some things about myself that I don't like. And again, that's all a part of the communication and the compromise dynamic.
Growth. That's true. All right. Okay, do you believe in gender roles? And if so, what do you believe is the man's role in a marriage long term relationship? And what is the woman's role in a marriage long term relationship?
Um, I don't necessarily believe in gender roles per se. I think that we're kind of in modern times, so at times each gender has to pick up the slack where the other one may fall short. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily, of course, certain things will be a preference for her to do, certain things will be a preference for me to do, but there's going to be times where one person has to pick up the slack in one area. Say, I may have to cook a few nights because she's working. She may have to do something that I may usually do because I'm working. So I don't necessarily say that we have to stick to like strict gender roles, but I do think that each partner should try to compromise and make the other person's daily tasks and jobs as easy and pleasant as possible.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, what aesthetics or physical features are attractive to you? An example: the hair type, the length, the style, the body type, whether that's slim, thick, curvy, thick, BBW, the height, the skin tone, facial features. What aesthetics or physical features are attractive to you?
Oh, you want me to deep dive, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm 6 foot tall, so I would say someone in between anywhere from 5 foot to 5'7" ish or so. I prefer a athletic type, not necessarily petite, but athletic fit build. Of course, like all men, curvy. The curvier the better. Uh, I would say hair type doesn't really matter as long as it is. As long as I prefer a woman that is groomed, that's about her grooming and appearance. So the hair type, the hairstyle, it can vary. It could this. I'm not married to one particular thing. Um, what was it? Are there any other features that I may have missed? Oh, complexion. I don't care about complexion.
You
I'm not.
covered
Yeah, I don't care about complexion. I'm
okay.
not skin specific. Attractive is attractive to me.
Okay. All right. So I believe my purpose in life is to what? Fill in the blank. What is your purpose in life?
Um, my purpose in life would be to teach and cultivate as many people as I can, influence as many people as I can in a positive light, uh, leave my family or child or children, if it comes to be children, in the best possible position they can be in as they transcend into adulthood. Um, I'd like to be remembered as just, hardworking guy, fun loving, family guy, pretty honest, pretty transparent, someone pleasant to be around. That's a legacy I'd like to live.
All right. Okay. What is one unique thing about yourself that most people don't know? Just by looking at you or being around you, they wouldn't notice about you. What is that one unique trait?
One unique trait. Um,
It can be a trait or a thing. It's just what is that one unique thing about
I,
yourself?
I would say that people often say that I have more of a like serious or militant look or demeanor. And then when they're around me, they don't
Hmm.
realize that I'm really like the class clown, always on joke time. Don't don't take anything serious. Nothing is off limits. I will make fun of you, me, your family, the person across the street. It's like it's never. I'm always on joke time, always ready, and I'm witty, so I come back quick. So you got to be sharpshooting if you down with me.
Gotta be able to roll with the punches.
You
All
got to be
right.
able to roll with the punches, baby. That's right.
All right. So, what are your relationship status goals? Whether that's marriage, long-term relationship, companionship only, and why now?
Um, I think that I'm looking for something of substance that can gradually get to long term, possibly marriage if we're on the same wavelength. Not rushing or forcing anything that's not there. But I would like to be married one day. Like I said, I am a family guy. I believe in marriage. My parents were married for 40 years. So that's all I ever seen. I grew up in a two-parent household. So I definitely understand the dynamics of the previous question when you talked about gender roles, but I'm a little bit still in the gender role generation, but a little bit still in the modern generation. So I realize that we can't necessarily stick to that. So I think that partnership and teamwork and unity can help us bridge the gap. And so I do think that I can be the best version of myself, but until I get with the person I'm supposed to be with, it can't unlock the next level of where I'm trying to go and what I want to do.
All right. Good deal. Okay. So, what are your love languages, and how would you like for your partner to provide those to you? And what does that look like? Are you familiar with the love languages?
I'm not necessarily. I would say more recent. I
Mhm.
started to maybe realize or think of those in depth. I may not have been necessarily focused on those before, but I would
Mhm.
say currently I am a physical touch. I like time with the person also, so quality time, um, acts of service. Just just the little things. I'm big on the little things. Like those people get so caught up on like these big, super outstanding gestures, but they don't realize it's the little things that keep us going day in and day out. That you think about, when you have time to sit back, that we don't appreciate or value as much as we should.
Right. 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 Good deal. All right. So, what does the term emotional intelligence mean to you? And do you provide this in a relationship? If so, how? How do you provide emotional intelligence? Are you familiar with that term?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think today's woman won't let us not be familiar with the term. They scream it every chance they get, so we had no choice but to listen, right?
Right.
So, I will say that to me, emotional intelligence is actually reading the room and understanding what my partner may be feeling or going through without necessarily having to have verbal communication. Um,
Hmm.
as you spend time with the person, you learn the things they like, you learn the things that make them uncomfortable, you learn the things that may be triggering to them, or you learn the things that may make them feel insecure in something they may do. So I feel like as the man in the relationship, we have to be the one to first regulate the woman's emotions because she's going to be emotional more times than I am. And so a lot of times I have to put my own pride or ego to the side necessarily, and do what's best to quell the circumstance that we're in right now. So if that requires me to listen, if that requires me to talk, sometimes it may require me just to do. Sometimes it may require me to just stand back and let her cook. Sometimes I have to cook. It just depends on what she may need to get to where she needs to be in the moment. So it's not a always and a constant. And this is where again, through communication, I can't preach that enough. You have to communicate with your partner, and you have to be transparent and have these hard conversations initially, so that we can begin to build that type of rapport, so that I can understand when I'm seeing you go through this and when I'm seeing you go through that. Okay, well, this is how I need to respond in this, or this is how I need to respond in that. And I would also say it goes the same on the other end, as she spends time with me and gets to learn what works for me, what doesn't work for me, my schedule, my lifestyle, how this goes. She'll be receptive to the things I may need, the things I may like, the things I may, prefer, etc. So I think the emotional intelligent part is just recognizing, being open and optimistic. So first having the conversation, and then putting conversation into action, because words don't mean anything without action.
Right, that's true. All right, you got emotional intelligence down pat. All right.
Somewhat.
What are some obstacles you've encountered while trying to date?
Oof. Okay. Um, I would say obstacles that I've encountered. I think some unrealistic expectations, um, in the form of, I think, a lot of impatient thoughts and actions. People who maybe jump the gun fast because of whatever circumstance they previously encountered. So let's say the lack of grace and empathy in certain situations. Um, I'll say people who seem more interested in the aesthetics than the substance.
Mhm.
So uh, they may care about the venue that we're at more than the person they're here with. They may care about the look of the person and never really try to get in depth with the person. And then I would say a big thing is a lot of short tempered people, women, a lot of projections, just a lot of disconnect and disdain that I may have come across, that came from things before I even came in the picture.
Right, and they haven't dealt with it yet.
And so,
Okay.
yeah.
So earlier you said the lack of patience. Is that the lack of patience on the person that you are trying to get to know, or on your side?
Well, I would say the lack of patience on their side, because I'm a pretty patient, understanding person, and I kind of adapt to what my partner may have going on. Let's say she may be super busy for work, or she may be a traveling nurse, or she may be whatever profession she may be. So I understand. I also understand people have family and personal obligations. I'm not like super needy, super clingy, so I can really much adapt and work around people's schedules and environments. But I encounter the opposite, where people aren't understanding of maybe my schedule, what I have going, of priorities that I already have in place. I can't lie. I am a very, structured guy, very disciplined. Again, like I said, I work out 5 days a week. I eat pretty clean. I cook too, by the way. You ain't got to do all the cooking. I cook too. You know what I mean? I have a routine that gets me through my weeks as effective and efficient as possible. So sometimes that kind of structure doesn't necessarily work for people, and they become impatient in that realm as well.
Right. Okay. So with that structured schedule, that's good that you're single right now and that schedule works for you. Are you open and flexible to adjusting your schedule once that special person come into your life?
I mean, absolutely. We make time for what's important. So it's like, but until something is important, it's not really necessarily make time for it. It's kind of like, yeah, I, I can't really say it no better than that. If someone of substance who I feel like is worth pursuing and gives me the same kind of interest and reciprocity that they desire, then yeah, I
Mhm.
have plenty of time. I just feel it when it's empty. That's all.
Okay. So, but you are allowing that time to actually give yourself time to get to know that individual.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Okay. So, along those same lines, not necessarily in your specific case, but what do you believe has been the biggest challenge or impact that has affected dating as we see it today? Just overall, not just particular.
Oh, overall, I would say one of the biggest impacts. We had to be honest. Social media has made a lot of people made people very delusional in what their actual options are and where they actually stand in the dating market. Not, I would never, talk down or tell anybody that they shouldn't
Mhm.
expect what they expect or want what they want, but you have to kind of be realistic when you cross reference what you desire versus what you desire wants. Do you meet their expectations the same way you expect them to meet yours?
Right.
And then again, and then like I said too, a lot of times, like I said, a lot of people are unhealed trying to date. And so when you come into a situation with a new person and you're still carrying all this mental and emotional and all types of different baggage into that new situation, now you're trying to make, now this person has to work 2 and 3 times harder to get what they deserve without doing all of this.
Right.
And so that can make it hard too. So I would definitely say people think they have more options than they have. People come into things unhealed, and a lot of people are just unrealistic in their expectations.
That's true. That's true. All right. Good deal. Do you believe in monogamy?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right. What are absolute deal breakers that you will not tolerate when choosing a partner?
Um, I will not power struggle with somebody. So I do not desire to go back and forth, and I don't do the toxicity or the drama. If we can't have a adult like transparent, just open conversation, then it's really no point. We're not going to get nowhere. I don't mesh well with people who don't take accountability for their actions. Like, we don't have to harp on things forever. A simple hey, that was my mistake, or I messed up, or this, that, and the third. I'll do better next time. Because I'm more than, my ego is never big enough to where if I mess up, I'll apologize. My fault. This, that, and the third. That's why I talk about grace. We have to have grace for one another.
Mhm.
Um, I will say, yeah, just blatant disrespect, or people whose actions don't meet their words, or and vice versa. Uh, I think anything else outside of that. Oh, another deal breaker: somebody who's not in the fitness. Like, if you don't want to maintain, you can't. You feel like that's too much. Then I'm probably not the person for you, because again, I do have a scheduled routine. Someone who someone who rebels against structure. I can't do chaos. I can't live in chaos. I can't build nothing in chaos. We can't build nothing in chaos. So you have to be able and willing to be structured, to be disciplined, to be ready to walk through this thing together. And I think anything else other than that, we can have a conversation about it and hash it out.
Okay. With you being into fitness, like you are, is it important that your mate go to the gym? Because I know you said you go 5 days a week. Is it important for them to go 5 days a week as well, or as long as they pretty much keep up a regular routine and pretty much stay in shape and work out?
I would I don't expect anybody to mirror what I do. If they choose to do that, that'd be great. But I would say, as long as they're disciplined and consistent in what they do have some kind of a gym routine, keep themselves in good physical condition, because like I said, we also have to be real. Attraction is a big part of being together long term. So I'm not going to let myself go and get out of shape, so that I'm still going to be as close to the person as I am for them, and I want them to be as close as they can for me. So I feel like that's fair.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So, what do you feel it takes for someone to be a great mate to you? and for you to be a great mate to someone. What does that look like?
Um, so for me to be a great mate to them, they would have to convey exactly what it is that they are most receptive to, their likes, their wants, desires, uh, things that they feel can keep them in a situation long term in a marriage per se, or what overall will make them happy, can help us to do life together. So for me to answer completely, I can't give an answer for what exactly I would have to do, because that's subjective to the female and what she needs, and can I accommodate the things that she desires. So but I can speak for what they can do for me. So for me, I think I'm fairly simple. I like, I like feminine energy. Someone who's soft spoken, well spoken, someone who is consistent as far as like shows interest the same way I show interest. Someone who believes in reciprocity, meaning that the energy or the effort never feels one sided. I want to feel like we both desire each other on an equal level. Someone who has you have to have a sense. It's non-negotiable. I can't do nobody uptight, or I just can't do that. Outside of that, I think it's the basics. Respect, communication, just someone who's affectionate, someone who is patient, someone kind, someone loving, someone nurturing, and someone who actually a woman who desires to be a wife, not just have a husband.
And understand what it means to be a wife.
Understands that about the duties and the expectations and the things come with not just the title. They actually want to be that that rock for the person, and they want the person to be that rock for them.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So, what is your dating age range?
I would say somewhere within the 24 to 34 range, maybe a little older, depending on, like I said again, it's all about the laws of attraction. If I find a person attractive, uh, physically and character wise, because it's not just about character, has to be just as appealing to me
All right.
as your actual physical gifts.
All right. Okay. All right. So, what is your dating location preference? An example, internationally, locally within your current state, surrounding states, anywhere in the USA? And the second part to that question is, do you have a passport or are you willing and able to obtain
Yes, I have a passport.
one?
I travel a lot. I travel for work. I travel for leisure and independently, or like I said, commercial, whatever. It just depends on the circumstance. But I travel often. So yes, I have a passport. My dating location, I mean, of course, the more convenient, the closer, the more convenient. But I'm not opposed to going to someone if they're willing to do the back and forth. I would say I would prefer at least because I'm in Miami, so at least the East Coast, because that's a quick 2 3 hour flight to somewhere. Not saying that I'm opposed to somewhere else, but at the East Coast will be the preference. But anything else, it depends on how the vibe is, how we get along, and if the person is willing to meet me halfway, and going back and forth and making um, consistent effort together.
Right. Okay. All right. So, when when you are long distance dating, it's very important that y'all either talk about or have plans to eventually merge together.
Absolutely.
So would you say you are you take your time and it usually takes a long time before you get to that point, or are you at a point now to where, hey, if it's flowing, we can see what the next things are or what the next step is?
Yeah,
How are you with your timelines?
I don't necessarily believe in wasted time. I feel like I said, it's all about how consistent we are with each other, how often we make time, and we realistically have that time to develop that bond and rapport with each other, and then
Mm-hmm.
decide like mutually, hey, this is what we want to do. So I would say I would say at least a year, maybe year and a half, maybe not even that long. It really depends on how consistent and where the person is. You're talking about long, like you got to fly to the. And yeah, maybe at least a year, 2 years max before we can say, okay, well, let's do this. Whether whoever's going to do whatever they're going to do. But I don't believe in wasting that much time, and I don't think it takes that long to decide like if you're really interested in the person or not, and what you want to do. It's more about, is she willing to make the move or desire, whatever, or what's ever best for the relationship in general.
All right. Just to give people a general idea, because especially when you are considering long distance as an option, sometimes people don't really realize, or take into consideration the things that come along with that. It's like
Absolutely,
people
absolutely.
have different things. Like, hey, this is a person that takes years before they get to that point. Some people are, hey, I see what I want, you do what I want, and hey, let's make it happen.
Nah,
So that's
I'm
why
more,
it's important.
I'm more so if I find it and find it and I want it and it wants me and the interest is mutual, the vibes is there, consistency, communication. Let's do it.
All right, good deal. All right. So, do you have a race preference?
Do I have a what?
Race preference.
No, I don't necessarily have a race preference. No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I do prefer black. I mean, I do prefer black, but I don't have like I'm not necessarily exclusive. But I do prefer us. I would rather be with a black woman than anybody else. But you can't
But you're
control.
open to other.
Yeah, you can't control who you like, who likes you. You just got to go with the best of what you're presenting.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, how do you want eligible and intentional daters to reach out to you?
Well, my IG, of course, that would be the most efficient way. So
Okay.
that's a.t underscore low key. Um, Shoot me a message. Say, hey, Aaron, I saw you on, Bella, and I thought maybe we may be a potential match. And trust me, don't worry, I take it from there. I take the lead from there. If you shoot your shot, it's going up on the glass. I got you.
So you gotta respond back regardless.
Oh man, I
So you're
got you.
not just gonna leave them on red.
No, no, no. I ain't gonna leave you, baby. I ain't gonna leave you on the bench. We gotta put you in the game.
That's good. All righty. So, are there any last things that you want to tell the daters out there?
Um, sure. Not necessarily for myself, but just in general. Like, hey, be patient, be optimistic. Don't take previous ideas, previous notions, previous projections and experiences into a new thing. Give the next guy, get the next woman a fair shot. Be consistent, be communicative. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the person, let them speak, hear them out. Try different things, try new things, make yourself available. You're not gonna find an outcome if you know where to be found.
Right, right. Put yourself out there.
You got to put. Like I said, and shot don't go in if you don't put it on the glass, right?
You got to be busy. You can't just be sitting in the house just waiting for a miracle to just show up at the door.
It's not happening. So yeah, and that's something that I had to learn for myself. You got to try new avenues. Get out your
Right,
comfort zone. Like, get out your comfort zone. So
right,
that's
right.
what you got to
That
do. Give
you're
different.
ready.
Things.
Like, I'm
Be
ready to find my
optimistic.
person.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate you. Thank you
And,
for allowing me to interview you and being a part of the Bella Beauties and Bella Beaus network of eligible and intentional daters. I will be in contact with you to check on you to see how your love journey is going. If you
okay,
have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.
not a
So until
problem.
next time we speak, you take care, okay?
You too. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
No problem. Bye.
All right. All right, Bella Beauties and Bella Beaus. That's another great interview on the books. Until next time, take care. God bless and talk to you later. Bye bye.